All right, guys, we're live. Welcome to yet another edition of Red Cape Sports live stream with Bird Bouchard, myself, and the brother Mitch Bouchard. This one was actually a little bit more planned, Mitch. We knew that we were going to do this for about a week. Normally,
Yeah.
it's a last minute kind of vibe, but regardless, we knew that we were going to do this. But as always, Mitch doesn't know the topics, so
Yeah.
throughout the week, guys, we do our absolute best to kind of discuss things, but we never say, hey, like we're going to talk about this, and that. So anyway, thank you all so much for being here. You guys watching this live or later on YouTube, we've it. So a lot to talk about. Mitch, we're going to start it off with this guy as I make this. We're going to start it off with this guy, okay? Because, he deserves it. Zion Williamson, first career All-Star game, selected to Kevin Durant. And you saw it, right? Where we're seeing it. If you have Jeff, the Sports Card Investors app, seems like a lot of Zion's cards are on the rise. So what do you make of this?
Yeah, well, I'm a huge Zion fan, so to me it's like, I kind of expected it. I think, Bert, you were telling me, though, he's not going to be in the dunk contest.
He's not. No,
and that kind of shocks me, but at the same time, like, I think he's focusing on his game. There are a lot of players that don't do the dunk contest. He's also, I love, like, Zion's leading the league in dunks probably. I don't even know, but dude, a lot of people want to see him in the dunk contest, but he's working on his game. He's not a dunk guy anymore. Like, you have to practice for that. So I'm not really hurt by it, but it would have been cool to see him do one or two. And I'm hoping that maybe he just does it in the future when he's 100% healthy, because even now, I don't think he's 100% healthy. He's been playing a lot of games. Dude, like, when he plays games too, it's not like he's just shooting all day. Like, he's going hard in the paint. So I think he even sat out last game. So you know what I mean? Like, he's probably trying to heal up a little bit more. And I think that's a big reason why we're seeing that.
So do you kind of view this as baseball, where every year there's a lot of guys who say, you know what, I'm not going to do the home run derby. I'm in a good streak right now. My batting average is up, and I don't want to ruin my swing. Do you view it as, a lot of energy goes into the dunk contest, and, if he gets too focused on that, it might, in some way, shape, or form, not help his game to where it needs to be?
Dude, 100,000%. Not only that, but Zion's getting at least 20 points per game. I think he's averaging closer to 25, 26. Yeah. So that's no joke for a 20-year-old, especially with the style of play he's got going on. And at least from what I can tell, what I know, like, Zion's got to focus on his basketball game. The dunk contest is cool, but he can wait. He can do it next year or the year after. And again, I don't even think he's played a full season worth of games.
No.
He has not played 80 games. So I don't even know if did Michael Jordan do a dunk contest his first year?
He did.
He did? Well,
his first year, I believe it was year 2. It was quite early on. I don't know. I mean, the fans want to see it, but at the same time, I don't think that we should be downplaying Obi Toppin. Now, if you guys remember, Mitch and I, we did a live stream type of episode where I went over who I thought would be, some of the bigger names in the NBA draft. And I mentioned 3 players, and I just want to touch base on this real quick. Yep. I mentioned Tyrese Halliburton, who's having a hell of a season for the Kings. I mentioned Obi Toppin, and he's going to be performing in the NBA All-Star dunk competition. And number 1, and this was the guy who I was the most high on, and some people in the comments said, he shouldn't be number 1. He's going to be a bust, whatever. Guys, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has been absolutely incredible as I bring him up on screen here. But he only currently has 1 card out on the market. Obviously, he's got, those Prism cards, not in an NBA uniform. But in an NBA uniform, he's got 1 card. And Mitch, you were saying it. I mean, mind you, I bought it and I sold it within basically the same day. but his NBA hoops card, is that too expensive right now?
Um, well, I'm looking at some buy it nows, and I would just I would just pay attention because prisms are going to come out. Um, I mean, I don't know. It looks like some of the good condition raw ones are like, dude, they're like $100,
Yeah.
which is quite a bit. I'll give you an example. So at about this time last year, we're buying hoops Zions, okay?
Yep.
And those were $5 to $10. Now they're 10 times as much for a player who's really good, arguably just as good coming out the gate. Similar or different. But I mean, his hoops is not going to be his flagship card. And you know what I mean? When the Prism comes out, how much is that going to be? At that price point for his hoops, his Prism is going to be $500.
Mhm.
So
I mean, mind you,
I
he's
think,
going to have a mosaic. He's going to have a select. There's a lot more cards that are coming out.
yeah, yeah, and like Brandon has a statement there. LaMelo Ball is going to be a better long time hold than Lucas Zion, whatever. Um,
I
there,
disagree.
there's a okay, like it doesn't matter if we agree with it or not. There's some truth to that, which is what I was gonna say, is that he's kind of like Joe Burrow, where for a guy that got injured, didn't even play a season, where he's so good that even though he's kind of expensive, it's still worth buying. Kind of like Alexi too, right? There are
Mhm.
players who have come out, probably overvalued in terms of their price, but it actually makes sense in the short to long term. So, I mean, if he's $400-500, I mean, that's the kind of market that we're in today. So for LaMelo Ball, it absolutely makes sense. And honestly, 125 for a hoops, you're gonna have to hold it for a long time, I think. But I'd rather pay $400 for his prism than to put 125 into his hoops. So that's a big question because so many things have changed. But yep.
I mean, fair enough, right? At the end of the day, he's going to need the hype. Is Charlotte a big market? No, but I mean, the big baller brand was the big baller brand. LeVar is kind of, a big deal, ain't ever lost, as he says. So I believe like the Ball family, they're like he's going to do well, and his card price is naturally going to do well. His on court play has been phenomenal. Arguably speaking, the by far I would even say the most entertaining player as a rookie in the NBA to watch. Of course, there's Obi and there's Tyrese and there's Quickly, and it's a really good rookie class.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting too. I don't know whether or not he's going to be competing in the NBA. What do you call it? Not the rookies competition. I think they call it like the Rising Stars competition. I don't know whether or not they're having that. To be honest, I haven't even looked at it. I know everything happening tomorrow, but regardless, Lamelo Ball. I was able to pick up raw ungraded. I think I got it 25 or 35 bucks on ComC. I listed it for 60, thinking no one's going to touch it, and if I need to raise it, I can. Dude, I had the card. I owned the card for maybe an hour and a half, and somebody purchased it. So at the end of the day, it's a really good flip. But I think it's up until the other Prism and Select and all those cards come out, it's going to continue rising more than likely.
Yeah, I think LaMelo Ball has been doing really well, and I mean, it's not like it's not like he's had to perform well to do better than Lonzo, but to be honest, like LaMelo Ball has been pretty good, we have to say, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, if you're the Hornets, you're pretty happy with what you've gotten.
Yeah.
OB's
Also,
down.
I wanted to highlight Malone Money Mindset. A, because he's a great guy, and B, obviously he's a Knicks fan. Obi Toppin, though, you got to remember, Obi Toppin has the most dunks in a single season in college basketball history. Most dunks. So Obi Toppin, let's just say he knows how to dunk. So while Zion's not going to be in it, I think we're going to be blown away with what Obi Toppin can do.
Yeah,
Um,
especially in the slam dunk. He's tall too, right? He's
yeah,
6'9".
let's move on to this too, though, Mitch. Back in February, so it was February 5th, literally like a month ago, LeBron James came out and absolutely torched and ripped on the NBA All Star weekend, saying, "This is a terrible idea. We shouldn't be playing. Let's just rest up. We're in a pandemic. Why are we going to Atlanta to play in an All Star game?" Well, flash forward to now, and LeBron James is a captain for the All Star game. Um, and of course, I'll let you have the floor, but doesn't that kind of sound like a hypocrite? Saying one thing and literally doing what you're saying, that, like, you know what I mean? LeBron was saying we shouldn't be playing, and now he's the captain of a game. It sounds pretty hypocritical to me.
I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of things LeBron, like what he says. I'm just going to talk about the way he plays and probably where he's at in his career. I mean, think about it. The guy's won that many championships. He's got a good chance of winning more. He's got a chance. He's already the greatest player in a lot of people's eyes. I'm not saying he is. It takes things for somebody like him to spark an inner flame. He needs more attention, than a lot of people. So I think he's just talking. He wants to be the captain, so to speak. So I think he's got to hit on his ego a little bit.
Yeah. Now, the reason why I did mention that, though, is because, let's say baseball, Derek Jeter in his final season chose not to participate in the All-Star game. Whether or not he was worthy is, you can make a debate one side or the other. But again, he chose to spend time with his family. It was his last season. He said that mentally he just didn't want to play. So that's why, I wanted to bring this up because, there are some people in the comments saying that he'd get fined, this and that. But I'm pretty sure you don't get fined for an All-Star game. I'm pretty sure if you get selected, you have the ability to decline it or not. But somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Dude, you should pull up Brandon's statement there. If LeBron wins one more championship, he's the GOAT. That's interesting. And Bird and I have talked about that.
Yeah.
Well, if he wins one more championship, he's got more Jordans, right? Does he already have that?
No, dude. Jordan has 6 rings. So if he wins one more, well, let's see. He won 2 with Miami, 1 with Cleveland, 1 with LA. So he's got 4 championships. So he'll have a
Really?
5th, which is still behind Jordan, not even tied.
That's what I mean. Like, I think it's always going to be a thing of one more, one more. And there are other people who've won multiple, like a lot of championships.
Yeah.
It's
always going to be a debate.
I think it's very obvious what he's trying to do, though, in terms of becoming the GOAT. I mean, AKA look at Space Jam. I mean, he's legit. I'm not saying it's not. I mean, it's a very marketable thing for the production companies to do as well. But I mean, LeBron understands, and I mean, what else does he have to prove? He wants to show that he's the greatest basketball player of all time. That's what he wants to do. If he wins another championship, and when the Space Jam comes out, it's going to be nearing that. But Jordan's still Jordan. I don't think that's going to go away.
Yeah, Jordan's 6-0.
And I still don't have a damn Michael Jordan card yet. Because every time I save up thousands of dollars, it goes up like 20, 30%. So, yeah, can you guys quit picking up all the Michael Jordans, please?
Fair enough. Also, guys, this is basically a Q&A session. So any questions that you guys have, leave them down below, and we'll do our best to get to them. But again, if you guys don't have any questions, Mitch and I got some topics here. So moving on, grading fees have recently increased, both BGS and PSA. I feel like this is going to be a really, really long segment for us. I feel like we both have strong opinions on this. They might not necessarily align. So what do you think, Mitch, just in terms of how does the price increase change the way that we go about the hobby?
Well, it makes a big deal, man, because, like, I can only talk about my own perspective. I recently just graded cards. I got in before the price change. However, I still paid a lot of money. I paid $80 Canadian per card, and I'm supposed to get them back in 30 days, 20 to 30 days. And I paid for, cards that are valued about $1,000. So that's what I did with the new price change. I don't think it went up that much, in my opinion. I just think it's the time for people when they get it back. So if you're more of a flipper, it's kind of it sucks. But if you're in it for the long run, it's okay. However, on the same note, because the prices are going up so much and so fast, and it seems to be accelerating, what happens is that even for me, I have about 100 cards because I haven't been back in the hobby that long, only a few years, really heavy. I have hundreds of cards that I want to grade for very cheap because I didn't pay a lot for those cards. Now the problem with the grading now is that the grading costs almost as much as what I paid to acquire those cards.
Yeah.
So now it's a bit of frustration, and that's going to keep going on in the hobby. There's going to be a lot of frustration, and it's going to come to a point where a lot of people are just going to sell their raw cards, and just be frustrated. I think that's what we're seeing. But it makes sense. It makes sense. If I were them and I was the number one grading card company, I would charge for my name. I would charge for my time as well. So, but in terms of how will this change the way people approach, I think we're going to see people valuing PSA even more because of that. People with patience are going to win. And then also, more people are going to end up grading higher end cards. That's what we're going to see.
Yeah, I agree with basically every single thing that you said, other than when you said, well, the price increase didn't go up by too much because it doubled, right? So, for the same price that you could have graded 100, now you're getting 50. What I think is going to happen is the price of PSA 10s are naturally going to increase because I think less people are going to submit them. So I think that is going to happen. So maybe in a weird way, the price increase is actually going to make sending off your cards worth it because I do think that there will be an increase with supply and demand. However, I will say this. Look, we were talking about it the other day. Let's say Series 1 baseball, right? Series 1 baseball, you open it up. There's realistically 5, maybe 7 great guys from that. Let's say you even get five great players from that set, okay? Mind you, the centering can be off and whatever, but let's just say they're all in pristine condition. So you got a Christian Pasha, you got a Joe Adele, a Joey Bart, whoever it might be. Well, already, what I'm expecting, like a Joe Adele card to go for, just because he hasn't played too well so far, maybe a PSA 10 goes for 75, 80, 90, even $100, let's call it. And then you got Pache, and then you got the other guys who are naturally going to be underneath that. Well, what's going to happen in a year or two? By the time that you get those cards back, I think that their play is just naturally, like it's really hard to hit on all 5 guys. Are all 5 guys going to be superstars, going to be studs? Probably not. So if you're only left with 1 to 2 to maybe 3 max, basically, good players, and if you're spending $80 a card, do the math, and you already spent $140 on a product. So that's like, I think we're going to see less box breakers, just breaking product. Oh, this looks clean. Send it off. So naturally, I do think that pop reports are going to get lower. And that's a good thing. It's just, let's take hockey, for example, right? Hockey. Why go out and grade a card for $80 when you can just buy it right now for $80 or $90? There's some really good players that you can pick up. So I don't know. Like, I think it's a bad thing for the hobby, but it's naturally going to correct itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to answer, what is it? Brandon George, plastic is rising in the stock market. That's why it went up. Well, yeah, but that's not answering the question. Bird was talking about what will be the approach because of that, what you said. Yeah, exactly. I mean, grading cards is more expensive because PSA can charge more. Cards are going up, and they can get away with it. And it kind of makes sense, I guess, too. But yeah, in terms of how it will affect the people, I already answered that. So Yeah, do you think the card market will collapse soon? I mean, I think about that every day. Um, I think about that every day, but it comes down to getting quality players that will survive a crash, anyways.
Yep.
Um, I mean, if you're buying junk, you're probably going to do well in this market for a little bit, but eventually, yeah, when there's a correction, which we're kind of due for, um, you just want to have good stuff. You know, do your research. Like we only buy things if we think they're going to do good long term for the most part. Like
For the
for
most part.
me, like for my PC, I have Mike Tyson, I have Zion's, which who knows? I don't know. But I'm bullish on Tatis. I think he's a guy that even if the card market crashes, so to speak, he'll make it through it at the other end if he plays well, if he makes it, right?
Yeah.
But there are guys like LeBron who arguably one of the greatest players of all time. Their name will be around no matter what, because I'll tell you what, even if the card market crashes, corrects, whatever it is, if you're holding good stuff, 10 years from now, when it comes back up again, people are gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Bitcoin, you know. I mean, I haven't been an investor in Bitcoin for a long time, but I bought some 7 years ago. So not enough. But I know what it's like when people are like, you got to. Somebody told me the other day, I have to buy Ethereum because it's the next big thing. I'm like, dude, I remember when Ethereum was $40.
Yeah.
Like, people get excited about new stuff, but yeah, cards have always been cool. Charizard's been the crap forever. So
See, like for me though, I definitely understand what you're saying in terms of the long term holds. Uh, my strategy lately has actually been I don't like holding on to cards. I like flipping. Flipping allows my money to work positively for me and get more money in the bankroll and get more money. For example, straight up, I had an Erling Haaland and even that Lamelo Ball card. I was planning on holding for a few months, and then but at the end of the day, Erling Haaland, I was purchased this card for $10 and sold it for 40. That's 4x. So uh, even though he's playing on Tuesday in the Champions League, the part of me is like, oh, I should have held on to that. But now I have the opportunity to buy another card, and for those on the live stream, uh, I'm currently winning the bid on an Alexi Lafreniere card. That's allowing me to pick up another card of a player that I love, who I believe is extremely undervalued. But if I just hold and hold and hold, I won't be able to afford the Alexi, per se. So like, you almost want your money to work for you. But with that being said, there's a lot of guys that are in my no touch zone, right? Like, there really are. And so I don't know, like, there are, but I guess what I'm trying to say is this next thing that we're bringing up here, Mitch. Modern day legends. We spoke about this earlier on today. Mitch gave me a phone call, and we were talking about this. We were saying, how many of these guys that people are investing in now, like thousands of dollars, how many of them are we going to be talking about in 3-4 years? Think about it this way: Dirk Nowitzki. I haven't heard that guy's name in a very long time, and I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. Dirk Nowitzki was a phenomenal player. Kevin Garnett was a phenomenal player. Paul Pierce is an NBA Hall of Famer, and I barely hear his name.
what
I'm
about
kind of worried that too much money is getting sunken in to these, players that are all stars, but like there's thousands of dollars that are going into, arguably speaking, the wrong guys.
yeah, but that is your point. Like, it's not enough to be good. You have to be loved almost forever. Like, you have to be like, there's good, there's great, there's all-star, like you were saying, but there's also legends. There are very few of them. Like, dude, I love Zion, but like, dude, unless he is perfect and unless he stays healthy, he's not going to be a legend. It's going to be very difficult anyways. Like, you have guys like who is it? I have one of his cards actually. You have a guy like Bo Jackson, okay?
Mm-hmm.
he's still kind of considered a legend, but that's because he played two dang sports. If he only played football and if he was injured, I don't think I don't think he would even have a chance because he got injured so early. So you have to pick very carefully. You have to realize that just because a guy is good now or he's good for 1 year, it don't matter. It really doesn't. But
Look at Reggie Bush. Can you imagine putting in money to Reggie Bush?
dude, remember Reggie Bush got lit up? I think his heart stopped. Remember that play? Reggie Bush got hit so hard. He got hit so hard.
Yeah.
Like I think the refs were like, I think the refs were like, like we can't even have him on the field anymore.
But that's all I'm saying. Like throughout college, Reggie Bush was arguably speaking one of, if not the best college football players. Then he got drafted and he was returning these punts left and right, and he was a stud. And then it turned into nobody talks about him, and that is my worry. And that, not to say that goes to like the card crash. All I'm saying is be aware of. I'm not saying that throwing thousands of dollars into cards is bad. I'm saying if you throw it into the wrong guy, and if you don't get out quick enough, if you let greed get to you, you will be left holding the bag. You just will be.
Yep.
And that's not to say that the market's crashing or anything like that. All I'm saying is, I see $2,000 cards for some NBA players that, I don't know. It almost makes you scratch your head, especially when you compare it to other guys. But that's just.
Well, I have a question too. So there are two guys that I'm thinking of right now specifically, Shaq and Charles Barkley. Okay, both had great careers. Would you argue that Shaq had an even better career?
Shaq, I've said multiple times, he's on my Mount Rushmore.
Okay,
he really is.
No, but I have a point here. They're both very popular now, even though they haven't played in a while, because of their personalities. They talk.
Exactly.
And I feel like if Shaq wasn't talking and you would see him on TV, he would still make it through. But if Charles Barkley weren't, I don't think he would have made it through. Shaq not only is a big personality, but he's also got the stats and the career and the personality, all that stuff to go with it. He's fun. Think about Michael Jordan, though. Michael Jordan's going to make it, but he has none of that. He doesn't even talk politics or anything. So, you know what I mean? Shaq, like, yeah, Brian, you're right. Dude, Shaq is so lovable. And that's why, like, I feel like if somebody asked me, like, how do I buy a card and not lose money? Everybody loves Shaq. If Shaq cries, I saw this video of Shaq crying. I'm by myself and I'm crying. I'm like, dude, like, you can't help but to feel for, a 400-pound, 7-foot dude who people love. He's funny. Like,
dude, it's for that exact reason.
You have something about you, and you have to be the best of the best of the best of the best of the best to be like legit, right? So,
yeah. And honestly, I think everything that we just said, use that with a grain of salt. And what I mean by that more specifically is, if you're looking to hold on to a long time, get the right guy, almost anyone is flippable. And I truly mean that. With a good game or with the right hype or with the right anything that happens, almost anyone is flippable. I'm not saying just pick a random player and then go flip him. No, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
But, in terms of holding guys for a long time, like I mean big profits, like Mitch is hoping to do with Tatis. In my opinion, I actually think that's a great idea. Tatis is really marketable. He wears the pink. He's got the hair and he speaks English. Whereas, Soto, you know what I mean, though? Like you hop on Twitter, you're not going to see a Juan Soto interview of him saying something funny because it's through a translator.
Yeah, but like I'm to be honest, like, dude, I'm holding Tatis because I'm confident and I don't want to sell them now. Like I don't want to sell too many of them now, even though I made a crazy return, because I see him going better this year and next year. Do I know 10 years down the road? I have no idea. I would never tell anybody Tatis is a 10-year hold. He's not that guy. I think there's only a few guys. Like, honestly, like there's Michael Jordan, dude, like he's Air Jordan. Like, come on, Michael Jordan, LeBron James has already done it in my eyes. And then you have people like Mike Tyson. Those are three guys I could tell anybody that they're going to be talked about a long time from now. And then you have like Babe Ruth, and Tom Brady. I mean, there are others, but those are five that I wouldn't really worry about. And that's because they were so good at what they did. I don't think anything's gonna like Tom Brady threw
Lombardi Trophy.
the trophy. I mean, and nobody cares. People are on Tom Brady's side. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. What else we got here?
Dwayne Johnson, he's a guy who's probably not going to go away. That guy is going to become president if he wants to.
Let's switch gears to a bit of hockey here.
I'm going to make a prediction. If Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson runs for president, nobody will beat him.
Interesting. Mitch, let's switch gears here, though, to some hockey. Just because, here at Red Cape Sports, we do have a lot of hockey fans. And I believe Nick P is in here as well. With that being said, Patrick Kane, he's off to an incredible start. 32 years old, first overall draft pick. And he's been a stud, man. I don't know how else to say it. He's, what is it, 26? Yeah, that's what it is. 26 assists and about 11 goals, second in points right behind Connor McJesus. You can make a point, though, that he's probably leading the MVP race. But who will have the better career when it's all said and done? In terms of sports cards, let's say, and how it affects their prices, will it be Austin Matthews or Patrick Kane?
I mean, dude, okay. If I had to pick now, because of the age difference, you'd have to go with Patty Kane. However, if Austin Matthews refuses to hit the post, which he's been doing the last few days, if Matthews plays well and makes it to 30 years old, Matthews will win that debate because he also plays on Toronto. However, as of right now, you got to give it to Patty Kane. He's older. Patty Kane was a big dude. When I lived in the States, I had friends, man, that were from California. They both had Patty Kane's jerseys, and that's how I made some friends. I'm like, dude, that dude's a stud because he was a first rounder, first overall, I believe. So,
yeah.
So Patty Kane, I give it to him right now because people aren't always talking about him, and he's legit. He's very good. He's got the handles. He's like a Crosby, if not better, dude, in some regard. So
the reason why I'm leaning towards Matthews, if you look at it, Patty Kane's got right around 400 career goals. He's 32. Mm-hmm. Matthews is what, 23? He's already got 176. So he's basically halfway there.
Yeah,
he's already halfway there. I think he'll beat the goals. In terms of points, will Matthews end up with 1,000? Like 1,000 points is a lot.
No, he's selfish.
I think
that's
I think he'll beat the goals, but not the overall points. I want to say that Matthews will eventually reach 1,000 points, but what I'm saying is Patty Kane's not done. So he's still going to put up maybe 100, 200 more points in his career, maybe even more, depending on how long he plays. But if that makes sense, I think Matthews will destroy him for goals, and I really mean destroy. But in terms of points, I got to go Patty Kane.
Yeah, I mean, I have Matthew. I'm going to look up Patrick Kane's official stats too.
Yeah. With that being said, though, like the card prices, I mean, Matthews is basically already beating him because of age and market. So maybe that wasn't like the smartest thing to say. But how about this, Mitch? Do you think Patrick Kane's cards, like, are they undervalued now?
How much is his 9.5?
Well, let's look it up here real quick.
Too much because he's a bit older, right? I like to get legends that I like, and then I buy really perspective. Like, guys, I'm telling you again on the live stream, Yusufa Moukoko. Like, I mean, Yusufa Moukoko. I don't know his name.
Yeah, Yusufa.
Perspective guy, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, right? I mean, like at the end of the day, for his card, the price is right.
Matthews is expensive, but he plays on Toronto.
Okay, so raw ungraded, Patty Kane sold today for 398 American dollars. Yeah, he's less than 400 raw ungraded.
Well, dude, we could both agree.
An 8 sold for 300.
Well, dude, we could both agree. Matthews has the potential to beat Kane because we know where Kane's at, right? However, to be consistent and to do what Kane did, people have to understand that it might not happen. It's very difficult. Yeah. But if he can do it, I mean, I already said how I feel. It comes down to Matthews and what he's going to do. If he can just pound goals, if he can get 30, 40 goals for 20 years, oh my God, yeah. But who knows?
I agree with this. And it sounds crazy.
He can do it.
It sounds crazy that Matthews could be in the top 10 all time for goals, but the dude's already at 176. And I get it. Like, he's eventually going to slow down, is what people are going to say. Has Ovi slowed down? Like, think about it. Has Ovechkin slowed down? Not really.
Dude, I saw Ovechkin play, and, dude, Ovechkin is a freak of nature. Dude, yeah. Ovechkin drives his car like 180 miles an hour, like, every day. I'm convinced he's nuts. Like, he's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah, Ovechkin is a personality.
I think hockey, modern hockey, Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Ovechkin.
I mean, definitely the best player of, I don't want to say my lifetime, but basically since I grew up watching hockey, I want to say, because, you know, he came into the league in 2004, I want to say. So at that point, I'm already 8 years old, but I haven't really watched hockey legitimately before that. So when I say in my lifetime, I mean in my generation of watching hockey. And at the end of the day, whether you agree with me or not, he's still putting up phenomenal numbers. I think he's got 13 and 15 now, or 15 and 19, something. It's close to a point a game. So the goals will come. I'm so frustrated that COVID happened, because I think had COVID not happened, and so think about it. It was last year that got cut short by a few games, and this year, I think he had a legit chance at beating Gretzky, and I still think he will. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be that much harder.
Yeah, and people have a lot of good points too. Like, Kane won the cup, I believe, with Joe Quenneville. Joe Quenneville, so his coach, he's from about where we live as well. So yeah. You just don't know. You don't know. That's the thing. But like I said, if Matthews can be Matthews, and heck, if he can improve it all, he could do it. But he's got a long way to go. I mean, dude, he's 23. It's just like McDavid. McDavid is beautiful watching now. If he gets that injury he had a long time ago, things could change, man. You don't know. But these guys are so good too. Like,
Mitch,
he'll come back.
We were saying earlier today, Jason Spezza was an absolute stud coming out of Windsor, and then his first 7 seasons he was a stud.
We used to watch before he was in.
You know what I mean? Like, age caught up to him. So what I'm saying is age going to eventually catch up to Matthews, to McDavid, to all those guys?
No, because I've been investing in these psychedelic and stem cell therapy companies. I'm telling you, man, these people are going to be like super athletes. They're going to recover. I'm telling you, man, like, dude, like, these people are going to drink this stuff and they're going to heal their body.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not joking about that. Like, you're going to see 50-year-old athletes. Like, LeBron James may play till he's like 45.
I think he's going to play until with his son. I don't think at the pace that LeBron's playing at, he's going to wait for his son.
Dude, LeBron James, I'm telling you, man, with medicine, it's going to change at a rapid rate. 5 years from now, I think if LeBron's still alive, with his genetics, dude, LeBron James could play till he's 50.
Yeah,
he'll put up 40 points when he's 50.
I want to make a quick point here, though, Mitch. This comment, Spezza, Heatley, and Alfredson used to give me nightmares. Yes, that's true. But let me put it this way. Spezza at his prime, if you're in the mindset, oh, I'm going to hold on to his card because he's a stud. I'm going to hold on to his card. And I'm just making up numbers. Let's say you could have sold it for $500. Oh, but he's a stud. I'm going to hold. Look at him now. Look at what that card price is worth. All I'm saying is have a number. Like honestly, what I do when I get a card, I write the price that I got it for and the price that I'm willing to get rid of it. Like you can't be too emotionally attached to cards because then you're not selling them, and like you might not get full peak. Like how many times have you truthfully sold a card, Mitch, and it was at its peak and it never reached that height again? You know, you're almost never, ever, ever going to get the absolute peak. You might come close to it. All I'm saying is there's a lot of investments that people are making where they might want to start thinking about cashing in. And again, guys, that's not to say that the market's not doing hot, because it is. I'm just saying start thinking about, right, let me put it this way too. A store, right? A retail store. Sure, it can have millions of dollars worth of inventory, but eventually you need to move said inventory to keep running your business, right? And it's just that, right? What's the store? Not Zeller, Sears. Sears here in Canada. They shut down. They closed. They had too much inventory and weren't moving it. Yep. And I'm not saying that it's a direct correlation or that it's a great example in terms of sports cards, but what I am saying is, you can grab a lot of business things and realize why businesses fail, and that's all I'm saying, right? There comes a point where the profit's really good, and you might want to take it.
Yeah, no, Bird, that's very interesting. Dude, I've been advised by a lot of people to sell my Tatis right away because I got in so early. But he's also a guy I'd be buying now. Like, I
will say with Tatis, sorry to cut you off, Mitch, is wait until the season starts. Like I wouldn't sell now. Like I'd wait until the season, because if you do risk calculation, I don't think he can drop that much from now until literally 20-something days until the season starts.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. It's just weird because literally I'd be giving somebody a Tatis and I'm like, hey, here you go make 40%. Like, it's really weird. But I will say though too, like, dude, like again, talking about Bo Jackson, because he's the epitome of a gifted athlete who had a tragic injury. It comes down to how bad your injury is too, right? Like Mario Lemieux, like, dude, his back was messed up, getting cancer. He could, like, Mario Lemieux could have very possibly been the all-time greatest goal scorer.
Oh, but yes.
After time two, you may lose the drive to do it. You may have more money going a certain direction. So a guy like Tom Brady doesn't have to play anymore, but he wants to prove something. That's special. And that's why I love Zion when he first came out.
Right.
You have to understand that people like even LeBron, they have a desire to be the greatest. And if you dude, if you're going to be a Phil Kessel and not want to be coached, you're not going to be able to do it. So,
dude, PD's comment that I have highlighted here, I couldn't agree anymore. A guy like Rick Nash, arguably speaking, his best asset was his speed, and he declined pretty quickly. A guy like Jason Spezza, who we brought up, at one point, he was so speedy, and he used that to his advantage. And, again, the power play was great and things like that. I'm not saying all he could do was use his speed.
He wasn't that fast, though. Like, I just
he's not like David fast, but Spezza utilized his speed for sure.
Yeah. But the thing about a guy like Spezza, he's a very tall dude, too. What I remember from him is that he was smarter and a little bit ahead of his age, so to speak. Like,
he was an overdrive pick.
Guy kind of like Kyle Wellwood, where nobody's ever going to talk about him really anymore. He's I don't know if people remember this, but a guy like Kyle Wellwood, dude, he was filthy in the OHL. I mean, filthy. But he's not playing against NHL players. That's what happens too. A lot of guys that get in the NHL and they get overmatched because, I mean, dude, when I played baseball, I was good. And then, dude, when it came to playing college baseball, it's like, whoa, everybody's about the same, if not better than you. So
it's the same thing as high school, right?
Different levels.
How many people did you meet in high school or in college, and they were quote unquote the best player in their high school?
They all said they threw 100 miles per hour, and they didn't even throw harder than me. Like, it's crazy. Like,
it's so true, dude. I hear people all the time. Oh, I won my high school team's MVP. Okay, but what kind of competition? It's not just this little area that plays the sport, right? Like you can be great at hockey in your local wherever you're from, but when you start bringing it to the rest of the world, it definitely changes.
Mhm.
So yeah, some good points, Mitch. What do you think here too? A year ago, they were trying to teach Zion how to walk. Does he still look injured to you? You
Okay,
watched nearly every game.
he was just recovering. I think that's a media play. Oh, the media. Um,
Hey, be nice. Be nice.
he doesn't look hurt anymore. He doesn't. I'm sure he's tired now because he's moving around and he's heavy and stuff. But dude, Zion's positive, man. Like they're like he's a guy that I'm a big fan of. Yeah, he doesn't look hurt at all. Like, dude, remember when he first started playing? Remember when he hit those threes and he had that bad game? Everybody thought he had a great game. When Zion first
Mitch,
started,
tell the people about it because you came over to watch that
I
game.
watched that with Bird. Yeah, I watched Zion's first game. He went in there, and I'm like, okay, like Zion's in really bad shape. Like for like you're talking about an NBA player,
He
like
was sweating,
I
man.
was overweight. Like for an like if I was at like, dude, if I was in the NBA, I wouldn't go out there looking like that. But props to him. Zion went out there, made 4 threes, but
Wide
dude,
open.
he was so bad before those. He started dropping those threes. Like, dude,
Mm.
like he was not confident with the ball. I think he was kind of scared. Um,
But
anyways,
then the next
Zion
morning,
was hurt. I think he was hurting, man, for a while.
yeah. What do you make of that though? Because we watched the game, and aside from what was it, 22 points or something, aside from that, the
Yeah,
next morning, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, all those guys were, this is the best NBA debut. This kid played amazing. And it's like,
dude,
don't
he
just
did.
look at the number of points he scored, like
Dude, and
four wide open threes.
dude, I am like so biased for Zion if I want to be, but dude, he didn't have a good game.
No,
Zion's first game, he didn't play well, dude. He did hit those threes, and it's funny because I saw this meme and some guys like Zion's coming out there his first game, he's gonna be dunking the ball, and it's like Zion, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna shoot threes." So it's kind of funny, like
which he hasn't done like basically since that game. He hasn't really
he's a
shot.
really good 3-point shooter. I think he's better. He's made more threes than I've seen Luka make. And I'm only saying that, guys, and I'm not trashing Luka for his threes. Whenever I watch Luka play with Bird, when I would watch Luka play, he'd always miss threes. And I'm like, Bird, does this guy Bird's telling me how good of a shooter Luka is, and I went over to watch. Luka cannot hit threes. So
That's true. Mitch has never seen Luka make a three unless it's on replay or something.
yeah. But honestly, to answer you, Brian, I'm very impressed with Zion. He's doing exactly what I said he would do too. I said he would get between 25 and 28 points per game this season, and he's doing that. So
He's been great, and I'm just.
he turns the ball over a lot though too. He's got
I
a
guess
lot.
where I was wrong, Mitch. I thought they would let Brandon Ingram, kind of be more the man. Uh, I'm shocked that in the modern day NBA, they throw it in the paint so much. A lot more teams utilize their guards and things like that, but kudos to Zion. He's been so dominant in the paint that they're like, hey, you know what? We'll play a slower pace game and let Zion bully people. Which, hey, I mean, at the end of the day, it works for them. I just thought that with Ball, with Ingram, and Zion, I thought they would have been like a run and gun team, but they're not. And is that a testament to Stan Van Gundy? Maybe, but at the end of the day, uh, are they out of a playoff spot, or and if so, by how many games?
Who?
The Pelicans.
I honestly have no idea. I don't even care. It sounds bad, but like I want them to win, obviously. But if the Pelicans lose and Zion gets 50, like 30, 40 points, I don't care. So I'm the worst like Pelicans fan. Like I'm not a Pelicans fan.
Not the Zion fan is what that is.
Yeah, I'm a Zion fan. If the Leafs lose, I'm not super happy. But if Zion gets 20 points and if the Pelicans win, I'm pissed. So
I will say this though, Mitch. They're what is this? They're 3.5 games out right now.
yeah, their team,
Playoff spot, which is great.
dude, like they should sell Lonzo. For
They're
like,
trying to move him. There's been several reports of that.
but dude, Zion's got 25.6 points per game. Like, in his field goal percentage, still 61, but he does turn the ball over a lot. But that comes with the way he's playing. But Zion's, what is it? Zion's 3-point shooting is 31%.
Not bad.
He's basically Curry in the paint. No,
Well,
he's doing good. And he's
no,
getting more rebounds. He's getting more rebounds, I've noticed.
the start of the season, he wasn't. And at one point, Ingram was getting like 8 compared to Zion's 4.
For as much as, like, if I were to critique Zion on the good side, he's very positive. He's learning. He's getting better. He's getting a lot of points per game. His rebounds are going up. He's been a team player. He's not selfish, in my opinion. But he is turning the ball over, and he misses a lot of easy shots. However, the reason he's doing that is because of the way he plays. I don't know what it's like to be moving 85 miles an hour and being 6'7" the way he does. So, yeah.
I will say too, though, there comes a point where he's that good offensively. Look at it; his plus minus is just atrocious.
Yeah,
it's so bad. His plus minus is consistently like negative 15.
Plus minus ain't gonna get him in the NBA Hall of Fame. So who cares?
No, but it's not gonna get him into a playoff game either.
Free throw percentage is doing better though too. Almost 50%.
Did you hear what I said? His plus minus isn't gonna get him into a playoff game either. You need to start winning games.
No, he needs to get on the Lakers and play with the winning team. That's what he needs.
NBA, just join the powerhouse.
If you play with Lonzo Ball, you have automatically squashed your chance of winning an NBA. Guys have contracts that say in the bottom fine print, if Lonzo Ball gets traded to our team, I'm gone.
What are Lonzo's stats? Let's look these up.
I don't even. You know what? Lonzo's been getting more points per game, but
let's see.
Him out there, I cringe.
Right. Lonzo Ball this season, as I pull this up, he's averaging 14.5 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And it's not that bad, dude.
Yeah, it's not that great, though. You know what? Lonzo Ball, dude, why are we even giving him attention on our channel?
I'll just say this.
Lonzo Ball's been good, though.
He's not performing to expectations. But just out of an NBA player, he's not nearly as bad as you make him out to be.
Brandon, I agree. Zion, dude, I was pissed, dude. Like, why didn't Zion go to the Lakers and play with LeBron? I'm like, what are they doing to this kid? This poor guy. That's like giving Zion terrible parents and he grows up to be a problem. Give him great parents. Give him a great team. Give him the grace of something good.
Oh, boy.
As we'll have LeVar Ball coaching him. Like,
Mitch, we need to bring this up.
Why so bullish on Mukoko?
Why so bullish on Mukoko?
I'm bullish on him because watch him on YouTube. Watch him on YouTube. Understand his talent. Understand his team where he's going. Understand that he's 16 years old. And if he does anything at the prices in which you can start stacking his cards at, like, dude, I've got 50 Yusufa Mukoko rookie cards because they're that cheap. So I'm just telling you. And I'm not selling them until he does something great. So I'm stacking Mukoko because of that. Like, dude, the reason I was so bullish on Zion, even though I was very I don't know, like here's an example. I was buying these cards for $5 each. I bought them. I bought so many of them because they were so cheap. Yeah. Sometimes it's like finding an undervalued stock, even though the thing that you think will do well, even if it doesn't perform to the extent that you think it will perform, getting in at a good price is a big metric too. So don't look out on that.
Yeah, for me, and obviously, I will get into a more technical aspect on why I'm so high on Mukoko. But first and foremost, it's the price. It's
a beautiful card too.
Even if you don't believe in him, what I will say is this: you can pick up the cards for right around $10 to $15.
Show them the card. Show them the card.
I don't have a card on me now.
No, can you show them online, like screen share?
Yeah. Here, let's see this.
Yeah, people should see that because, like, these are cards that we just started getting a couple weeks ago. I did an episode on it. And by the way, I did not buy one card until we launched that episode. I didn't buy any until like 3-4 days later. So people have had the opportunity. And there's 40,000 of them. I'm not going to control that market. So, and I haven't sold any. So just so people know. Dude, that is a beautiful card, by the way. Yusufu Mokoko, show them the card. This is the card that we love because he's young. It's very, very risky.
Right
Very
here.
risky in the sense that it's not a safe investment, but
right. So what I'm going to say about this more from a technical aspect. But before I get to that, they're $10 to $15, and a PSA 10 sells for $300. So you can, even with $80 to grade and yada yada yada, a lot of these cards that were coming from Topps, because it was an online exclusive card, they're doing really well. And it's got the rookie card logo. So when you think of soccer cards, a lot of people entering the soccer card market, unless they're very familiar, they don't know what a rookie is, because a lot of the cards, like, they don't say RC, or they don't have rated rookie, or whatever it might be. It's not until basically 2018 where we started seeing that. So for this to have the rookie card logo is crazy, and it's legitimately in his first season. It's not like Panini. Panini's almost notorious for just slapping the rookie card logo on cards of guys' third, fourth, fifth seasons. And the last thing that I want to say here is, aside from his age, he's playing for Borussia Dortmund. So what is Borussia Dortmund known for? They're known for the run and gun style, high prolific offense, putting the ball in the net. But they're also known for kind of being that stepping stone from getting their players mega superstar contracts into the English Premier League or La Liga or a big league. So if Mukoko can follow the steps of Erling Haaland, literally follow his steps, also playing for Borussia Dortmund, if he can follow those steps even halfway and then go to the English Premier League in a big contract, playing for either Manchester team, Arsenal, Chelsea, whoever it might be, that same $10 card is not going to be $10. So to answer your question, why are we so bullish on him? Why are we so high? There's a laundry list.
And clearly Bird knows what he's talking about. I just look at a couple of spectrums when it comes to this guy. Bird knows soccer way more than I do. But in terms of an investment, he makes sense to me. Yeah. I'm not a soccer guy, guys. Like,
tell Brandon Chung how much I watch soccer.
Who?
Anyway, no,
we're not going to talk. We're not going to give him any.
I know. What else do we got? Oh, this is interesting.
What else are we going to talk about?
Dibs.
I was impressed with that episode.
Jeff made a video. Yeah.
Peter, you when I was so Peter, okay, when Peter was playing with his Peter, somebody wrote it on his phone. All right, Dibs. Okay, let's talk about Dibs. Okay, yeah. Dibs is going to be a platform where you can buy. I don't know if it's buy and sell. Well, you can buy and sell cards through the blockchain
shares,
and you can buy shares of cards. Very interesting. I did watch the video. I need to do more research. But again, I mean, I don't think it's available for us yet, at least in Canada. So
no, it's not even really like available yet. I will say this: before we dive into how it works, I will say it's interesting.
I'm cheating on Tim Hortons today. Oh,
I'm not. Definitely not. Anyway,
earlier today.
So, Mitch, there's a lot of different platforms that have already been doing this. It's kind of Wall Street hedge funding the sports market, right? And we saw and we knew that a lot of people were doing that. Naturally, if Jeff, the sports card investor, Jeff Wilson, that's who we're speaking about, if he's going to promote anything, it should naturally be something that he says that he's invested into. And I do believe that the app is great. I don't know when it's coming. I've never used it. But what I will say is there are already a lot of different opportunities to do exactly that. And what we mean is what this app does is it allows you to obtain 5, 10, 15, 25% of sports cards. So what they do is it's literally like a bank backed by gold, how it should be. So they buy all these expensive cards. I'm talking LeBron PSA 10, Topps Chrome, Refractor, Mike Trout's, Jordan's, things like that. They put them in the PWCC vault. So all your investments are backed by a physical card. So naturally, it's really hard to go out and purchase a $10,000 card. So what this app is doing, it's allowing you to purchase 5, 10, 15, 25% of the card. So when the card goes up, 100%, if you own 5% of that, do the math, and your stock, so if you will also go up. So it's a relatively cool idea. What do you think of it?
I love it. And I've been waiting for something like that to happen. Dude, I've been telling my friends for a long time, buy Charizard because you can hedge Charizard against gold. Like legit. There are some cards out there. Like when you think about just in like the whole world is changing. When you look at Bitcoin, when you look at just the way money's been, like people used to use feathers and shells for money long, long time ago, which isn't that long ago when you look at the history of time. But dude, like when you look at assets and what people are willing to pay for different assets, these cards are no joke. And that's where we're heading with sports cards and trading cards in general. Like those cards that you're getting, they are so rare. Like that's where NFT is coming in. Like the fungibility of cards, the fact that they're only so many. They're in such short supply for some of these high-end, high-graded cards. It's no joke, man. Like in their art, so you can enjoy it. It's like having a small Mona Lisa that people are actually interested in because Mona Lisa is not that great of a thing to look at, in my opinion, but it's very rare. The original is always going to have a lot of value. Sports cards have the opportunity to boom again to a point that we don't even understand, right? That could happen. Anyways, good question.
Yeah, that was more of a statement, I guess. But also on Dibs, rather than just banking on one specific card, they also give you the option to own a certain percentage of a player's sports cards portfolio. So let's say Steph Curry. If you're not sure which Steph Curry card to buy, or which Luka card to buy, or even which LaMelo Ball card to buy, you can actually go out and own a percentage of the player's portfolio.
It's like an index fund or ETF.
Exactly, right. Think of an ETF, except you don't really get dividends. So it's relatively cool. Some people are saying like, well, you own a percentage of $100,000 card, and that's just exactly it. It's essentially, in my lifetime, I'm not going to be able to dish out $100,000, even consciously. I can't throw $1,000 into one sports card, but maybe I can own 5% of that one day, or whatever it might be.
Well, dude, like I was talking about for like Michael Jordan, I've been filming behind the scenes, kind of my whole I have a couple great videos coming out that are going to be like, I've been filming kind of documentary style with voiceover, how I've been doing a couple things. And like one has to do around hockey. The other one has to do about my mission of trying to get this Michael Jordan card. But some of these cards are so expensive that we love and that we know as an investor to get, but they're so expensive. So I like the idea that you can get a share of a card. Because think about it this way. How many people buy Tesla stock, but they don't buy Tesla? They get a share of Tesla. Think about it. So it's kind of the same thing. You're buying into a company, like you're buying shares of a card. It's kind of like buying a stock. People are buying stocks of companies that suck every day, and they're taking risk. So maybe I'm just a little sour because I got an ETF and it's been awful.
My ETF has done quite well for me, so perhaps you're missing the wrong one.
The high-end cards, they're still undervalued clearly because you're able to take percentages of a card because the cards are so expensive. So it's probably a good thing. And yeah, like when Dibs comes out, I'm gonna get something. Like I believe in it. I believe in these long-term art pieces, So,
What else do we got here?
Brian, like when Elon goes to Mars, here's the thing, man. When Elon goes to Mars, they're gonna sell rocks from Mars, 100%. Like you're gonna be able to take a vacation on Mars in the future. Watch, it's all happening.
I believe SpaceX, it's like at 1 point something million dollars, and you can go to outer space. They're taking like 4 people at a time, and I believe they're starting that sometime next year.
That would be cool.
Tweeted about it before, so
I would do like when I'm older, and if I stay on track for investing, when I'm old and I'm about to die, I'm gonna do a lot of drugs, and I'm gonna go out outer space and check out the Earth. That would be cool.
That's a good question from my buddy Jackson. He says, my thing is, how does the buyer know that the share is backed up and they don't sell more shares of a card than they actually have? So I believe that they kind of know, right? Well, the card is worth this much, right? They know if the card's worth 5,000, and then if someone buys 50% of that, so 2.5 thousand or whatever, it kind of calculates until it gets to 100%. That was from my understanding. My big thing though with that is, let me put it this way. I can't go out and manipulate the market on a $10,000 card. I don't have $10,000, but it would be much easier to get 10 people who own the same stock of that card and go on eBay and purchase 5 of those cards for maybe a bit more and drive up the price of that. So that is my one big worry with dibs, right? Like if you pull together a group of people with the same interest, think of GameStop and all those Reddit users. They had the same interest and they all pulled together and drove up the price of it. That's my one worry with this. But anyway.
Yeah.
Mitch, people are loving your comments. Nice way to go up.
Okay, I'm talking about when I'm like 70 or 80. If I don't know what's gonna happen. But if I know I'm gonna die soon, I'm gonna die the right way. That's all I'm gonna say. Dude, I tell people all the time, the reason I don't do drugs is because I know I would love it. So I just drink coffee. I've been working out lately. Let's keep that going.
SpaceX had a rocket blow up apparently. I haven't heard that, but maybe that's only because they want the good news out. So yeah, they're labeled as sets and cards that can't have more print runs. Okay, so in terms of dibs, that's how you would know. It's almost scary though, because they mentioned in the video with Sports Card Investor that technically if you own 100% of the card in terms of the stock, you can request to have the card shipped out to you. Which is interesting. And I mean, I think it's a really cool idea, right? Owning a percentage of a Michael Jordan. Like you said, right? Like you can't own the whole thing. But for me, wouldn't you want the whole thing? Like I don't want like a fraction of something. Like even investing in stocks, it's weird to be like, yeah, like I own at least I own a whole stock and not a fraction of a stock. Like,
dude, owning one whole stock is still a fraction of a stock. Like you know what I mean? Like, dude, when you own a share of Tesla, you only own a share of Tesla. It's what it is. So, I mean, that's why they go public, because they can make shares at whatever price they want. It's oftentimes.
All right, Mitch. One last time, Les Alex missed it. How are you going out?
I don't want to get this video demonetized, so we can't talk about it. I'm not even talk about it anymore. I would tell you guys on a personal level, but like if we were in person, I would tell you. But in terms of a live stream, I can't talk about that because it's going to be insane. I'm gonna enjoy.
All right. Did you get your cards back from Mint?
Let me log into my Mint account.
You've been telling everyone that you're gonna get your cards back soon. I was like, oh, pump the brakes.
So on January 8th, 2021, so January 8th, 2021, they received my package for Mint, and they haven't updated anything since. So I'm not calling you out, Mint, but freaking update this soon. I want my cards. I'm broke right now. I spent thousands of dollars to grade PSA. I spent almost $1,000 to grade Mint. You know,
dude, that is why I don't bother grading cards, because your money is just tied up. That same $1,000 you could have made work for you.
I still have a lot of money. I didn't put all my money away, but I put about 80% of my money away to grade cards. So a lot of cash, 80% of my cash. So
Alex, that's absolutely right. Right, like if you own 10% of an MJ, it's sweet.
But here's the thing, though. Kind of like what we talked about, if you want to get the good card versus getting like a crappy card of the certain player. I don't know. Like Michael Jordan, he's starting to get so expensive where it's probably worth getting a share of the card. But if a card is under $5,000, which I think for most people, I think you should be patient and just buy the card if you can, right? But it's also, you don't have to worry about the card. It's protected. There's a lot to it. I love the idea, but if you can buy the card and own it, I think that'll make you feel better too, right? Like,
yeah.
Money at the bank. And
I think what Les is saying is like, it kind of would be a rather cool flex to be like, hey, like I own 10% of a Michael Jordan.
Dude, you're not gonna tell chicks. You're not gonna be telling chicks like, hey, like I kind of invested in a Michael
Jordan. If you are, you lock her up because that's a unicorn.
Well, dude, and then she's like, well, where's your Michael Jordan? And you're like, well, I own like 20. It's on dibs. Like I own 20%. So I'm gonna be like, hey, here's my PSA 7. Here's my Mike Tyson. You know, let's go just, second base.
Right. At the same time, right? Just the way that things are going, like, I just saw Boston and Ty, and they're at that age right now of 4 and 6 years old. Well, he'll be 6 in 2 weeks. But anyway, our nephews, they're at the age where they're all over electronics. And if you think about it in a weird way, at the grassroots level, that's kind of like the next generation of collectors. So if all they know from a young age is electronics, maybe they won't like a physical, tangible card, and maybe they will want the card on this.
Uno, come on.
Uno's a great game, boys. Great game.
Into Uno, I don't know.
Yeah. This is a real thing though, as Les Alex mentioned. Bragging about your collections to women,
dude,
and it's however you fly. It's a real thing. People have gone to bars and mentioned their card collections, and just say that they're a legend now.
Dude, I was talking to Bird, and we were gonna do some like satire videos. I was actually gonna do some funny videos where at least to brand our company a little bit, but we should take pictures with like, I know whatever, it's not politically correct. I don't even care though. Just think about this, guys. I think it'd be really
you don't care. That's all.
No, I don't. Just for this idea. I think it would be a cool flex. It would be very marketable if you showed hot girls holding hot cards. Like, dude, that would be sick. Like, dude, like
milk.
It would be great on my Instagram to have like, you hire like 8 models or a couple strippers over, and you give them some great Lucas and stuff, and then you take pictures. Like, dude, we can make cards. It shows that owning cards will get you chicks or guys, whatever you want,
I thought this was hilarious. Could you imagine if meaning you own 10% of the card, they just cut the bottom half of the card?
Oh my god. People would do that.
Anyway, sorry about that, Brian. So guys, just for the record, if we do skip over any of our comments, we're not purposely trying to do it. I'm doing my best. Can we get back to who will win the Calder Trophy? Runner-up. So the Calder being rookie. No, Mike Trout doesn't skate, and he probably can't.
Golf though. I've seen him hit a golf ball.
I think Kirill Kaprizov is just off to a great start right now. Runner-up, Stutzla. Stutzla's having a hell of a year.
Stutzel. That guy's good.
I can change it though, and I mean it's different because like there's a lot of great players. Ty Smith is another guy playing really well. Obviously, Alexi at one point couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, but he's picking it up. So I don't think he'll get that. But Kirill Kaprizov's the real deal, and his card already pre-sales $160 American, just ridiculous. Wait, guys, don't be picking up his card right away. Don't be picking up his card in the first week that it comes up because you will overpay. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, Laffy, yeah. Les Alex is right. Laffy's starting to do a little bit better.
Well, I think he was mocking that with he's mocking that. Boys just
But he is doing better.
I'm telling you all right now, I'm buying Alexi right after this stream. I'm buying Alexi. Got it cleared with the wife too. Buying Alexi.
Bird has to ask his wife to buy
I think it's a great buy right now. I think he's so undervalued. I haven't missed a single New York Rangers shift, and maybe it's a bit of a bias stocking. I don't think it's biased though. He's playing well, and for those of you who follow me on Twitter, he's literally performing neck and neck. Yeah, obviously I know less is strong, but he's performing neck and neck with Steven Stamkos through his first couple games. Dude, guess how many goals Steven Stamkos had in his first 41 games?
Not a lot.
5. That's it. So,
yeah,
and that's a future Hall of Famer. But anyway, what else we got here?
Expectations are high for Lafreniere.
Talk about Patrick Kane's legacy and where do you think he will end up in career points. We kind of spoke about, it's funny, kind of spoke about that about half hour ago in the stream. I think he will go down as the second greatest American-born hockey player right behind Austin Matthews.
Dude, I don't.
Just because goals. Matthews is already halfway at his goals.
Yeah, but Kane won the cup too, though, for sure.
Kane had a powerhouse team.
Yeah, I'm bullish on Matthews.
Toronto.
Yeah, but he's my favorite player right now on my favorite team. So that's
the city. I'm calling up our Aunt Diana, who lives in Toronto. I'm gonna call her up and be like, Aunt Diana, you need to leave Toronto. The city's gonna burn down. Like,
she has too many cats. I'm allergic. I can't deal with it. I can't.
Yeah. I will say this though. Toronto, when they win a cup, like that city's gonna burn down, dude. It's straight up gonna burn down. Think about it this way. The last time that they won the cup, people watched that crap in black and white. Black and white. It's been a very long time. Toronto is by far the largest. Like, I don't think, and I actually looked at it. I was surprised, Mitch. Our viewership, did you know, is 70% American, 30% Canadian. So I wonder if that 70%, if they truly realize how big hockey is here. Like, I wonder if they actually realize. Like,
well, yeah, SPF 77. Dude, you could argue that Matthews is going to go down as the greatest Leaf of all time to a lot of people.
At least nobody stayed there for long enough.
But yeah, but that's what I mean. If Matthews stays a Leaf and continues to play the way he plays, he will, like, I remember when Matthews entered the league, he got so many of my friends that were like, dude, like Michael Jury, Lucas, a lot of my friends were like, wow, we have a superstar on the Leafs. And in modern times, without a doubt, Matthews is going to be a god. If he wins a cup, oh my God. If he wins a cup and has a short season, like a short career, dude, it's game over. Matthews is a legend. He's already on his way, so I hope so. Dude, like, no, I have to say this. I think he's playing tonight. Like, dude, they're down 1-0 in the first, but dude, Matthews, get a goal tonight, baby.
What's not helping him this year, Mitch? And I mean, you can make this case either way, but what's not helping him, I would argue, is the fact that the NHL realignment, he's not playing any teams in America. And I'm going to highlight this one as well. Brian Kingsley said, hockey isn't big here at all. Well, the best way, and I'm a big conspiracy theorist, and I believe Wayne Gretzky was traded. Listen, Wayne Gretzky was traded to the LA Kings to save hockey because hockey in California was dying. It was dead. It was absolutely dead. And I believe what better way to grow? Like, dude, think about it. Right now, in San Jose, the Sharks are awful. The Ducks are awful. The Kings are god awful. Those are a lot of teams in that portion of America where there's no point to go out and watch hockey. It's hot. You're not thinking of it, and the teams suck. If Austin Matthews is playing, if Connor McDavid is playing, if all these studs stuck only playing Canadian teams, listen, in Canada, we already know that hockey's great, but we need to market it to Americans. And this year, with only playing Canadian teams, that's kind of killing the overall growth of the sport.
Maybe, but like Matt is American, like he's from Arizona, right? So
he's from Arizona, but what I'm saying is people from Arizona don't even watch hockey. He's not playing for them.
Yeah, like dude, Gretzky was traded.
Another team, they suck.
Yeah, Gretzky was traded so that they could make hockey bigger in the U.S.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%. Why else would he have left? Are you kidding me?
Like it was an inside man job, and I'm reading some of the comments here, but listen, like that was a big name that left, and
dude, there's a lot of
saying that Mario Lemieux that draft year was rigged for the Penguins because the Penguins were going to go bankrupt. He saved them.
I mean,
so where he owns the team now.
Yeah, like legit. They're like, dude, here are the keys. Take over. Dude, he was playing while he was an owner. That's pretty crazy. He was legit playing. I think he played a season with Crosby, didn't he? I don't know. He was playing. Yeah. He was so good and so big that he could. Dude, he still played and he's the owner. Imagine that. Like, imagine even the refs are like talking crap. It's like, bro, I'm your boss. Dude, Lemieux's a
cover-up story, Brandon. I'm telling you, there's always going to be a cover-up story. There just always is. You know what I mean? And I think when you break down fundamentally, like the reason behind why teams do things, I'm telling you, he left because the game wasn't growing in America. And the best way to make it grow, the best way to it's the same reason as blackouts, right? Every sport, they put blackouts because they want to put butts in the seat. What better way to put butts in the seat than Wayne Gretzky's in town?
All right, Bird, I got about 10 minutes, but let's finish up a couple questions. Let's go quick. Because we already did I think we're over an hour at least now. So,
okay, so he says when the Blackhawks were good, it was almost as big as the Bears or Cubs. Chicago's a pretty big market, though. I will say that. Yeah. What else do we got here? MJ or Jackson, where are you from? That's interesting. The NFL and NBA is falling apart here. Nobody really cares anymore. That's crazy.
The NFL is pretty big, but
yeah, that's really crazy.
NBA's got a lot going on. That's a lot too.
Interesting comment. When Matthew shoots it, it's in the net before you see it.
Yeah, but he keeps hitting the dang post, man. Come on, Matthews. Quit hitting the post.
It's only fair.
Which one I'm not. Matthews is a Greek god, man. I hope he does well. You know what it is too? I think he's got to grow out his mustache a little bit more. It's looking a little thin. If he does that, mustache, eh? Yeah. Would you say Matthews has a better shot than McDavid? And why? Does Matthews have a better shot than McDavid? Like if Matthews and McDavid is shooting from the same spot, who's better? Comment.
Matthews.
Why?
Matthews has a. So what Matthews does well.
McDavid doesn't even look at the net and he'll score. That's crazy.
No. Just from a pure fundamental standpoint, Matthews has a snapshot, which is quicker, and as he's toe dragging, he can shoot. He can use the defender as a screen, toe drag around them, and pick the corner. It's very decisive. Whereas McDavid has a great shot, but let's be honest, McDavid's a playmaker before he is a scorer. So I'm going to take the purebred goal scorer in that argument.
And does Matthews shoot harder because he has a stash and McDavid doesn't? That's a valid question, bro. It's not even debatable.
Listen, though, dude, he looks like the prime suspect in a game of Clue. Like he looks like he just murdered someone, and he's out sipping on his champagne on a train ride.
Somebody got away with it, and he's playing in the NHL.
I would not go on a train with him because he looks like he would murder me on a train.
Dude, yeah, legit. Like Matthews, like if I saw Matthews like just walking outside and like I would probably be a little scared of that stash. Like
it's the skinny mustache, you know?
Yeah, there's something about it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, like he walked going like, I know I have a caterpillar on my lip, but I'm a millionaire, and he can probably still pick up anyone he wants.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not even the money. He's just dude. Matthews is a legend, man. I don't know if I'd want to meet him though. He kind of creeps me out with that stash. He really does. Zion
says Matthews has a better shot, but like I said, McDavid is better in most other categories. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, kind of.
How much though do you think that McDavid utilizes his speed to his advantage? Because what I'm saying is, he's at 34, he's not going to have the same speed.
Yeah, dude. And Matthews could not have played football. I think he's too fragile. I don't know. I mean, dude, football is different, man. Matthews is tall, but dude, like he got a little wrist injury just from taking snapshots, probably. Like,
I say that.
I don't know. Hockey is tough, but football is terrifying. Football guys are massive.
Dude, I saw a photo today because it was Michigan State University. It was their senior day. Mm-hmm. And somebody tweeted a photo of Draymond Green. Draymond Green was a tight end for the Spartans.
Yeah, I have one of his cards.
Hilarious.
I have it in a box somewhere. I haven't even touched it.
Jackson, couldn't agree more, buddy. People, all bias aside, people, if you take away the aesthetics, ComC beats the crap out of Star Stock. There's more selection. It's not just rookies from modern cards. It's the same reason, if I'm being honest, why I don't like Card Ladder. Card Ladder doesn't have any of the cards that I'm trying to track.
Dude, we have not reviewed Card Ladder. They've asked us to review it. And dude, me and Bird kept talking like we want to review it because we love some things. But honestly, if we were to review card stock, what is it, Card Ladder? If we were to review Card Ladder, it wouldn't be a good review. So we just chose to not even do it.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to lie. We're going to tell you something.
Those of you who are watching this now, that's our review of Card Ladder.
Tell you, I like a player and I actually don't. So that's like Card Ladder. I like some things, but granted, it's a Lonzo Ball type of thing.
They don't even have, like, you know how long it took them to put an Austin Matthews Young Gun on there?
Yeah, Lonzo Ball's gonna have a better career than Card Ladder. So
dude, I can't. It's just I looked at it the other day. And mind you, even I got back to them and I was like, yeah, like, you know, like I'd love to do, maybe not a review, but I'd love to do an interview with you to speak about the platform. Guy never even got back to me. So, hey, that's bad business 101.
I like the idea. But, okay, so the problem with them is they don't have enough data in there. What they're doing is great. The way the website functions is great. Sure. The problem is there's not enough data in there, and there's not enough cards. So you can't even add all your cards. If they fix that, though, I would have a different opinion. All right, one more question. I got till 7:40.
Let's see.
You can stay on longer. Bird, you can stay on longer if you want. It's just I'm going to be gone.
No, I got to get going soon too.
I mean, our 3-hour live streams is kind of crazy too. So it doesn't have to be 3 hours. I don't think. Not all the time, anyways.
Let's see. All right, boys. We'll take one last question. What do we got here?
Not like we have Alex Jones on or Elon Musk, so
I don't even know who Alex Jones is.
Just crazy. Dude, you said you're the conspiracy theorist, so
dude, I am a big conspiracy theorist, especially Harry Potter.
Watch Alex Jones. He predicted Epstein. He predicted a lot of things. It's a whole other conversation. More right.
I'm just looking for some questions here. What else did I might have missed?
Bird, do you like Vince Carter or Bo Jackson, and why?
As like a card option or what? Like
investment, just their rookie card.
As an investment, I mean, the first answer to that is Vince Carter because well, as an investment, Toronto is basically the only market there, and I mean the rest of Canada. But Vancouver also had a team that I don't know. Bo knows, but like I don't think Bo wasn't dominant throughout like his career, and I know that sounds extremely weird. It's just like the fact that he played two sports, and the fact that he hit a home run and like a touchdown on the same day is kind of cool. I gotta go Vince Carter, man. He's a future Hall of Famer.
These cards are $200 now. I paid like 20 for these like a year ago. But I don't know if Vince Carter is gonna like. I don't know.
All right. Unless there's any more questions, I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah, Joe Rogan should buy sports cards. Bird, do you think? Oh, Joe Rogan. By the way, Joe Rogan does have his sports card, and it was actually on Just
It's a tops now, yeah.
Because he could do big things even going forward, which he already is. Anything else we should hit on quick, Bird? Anything going on in the next week or so that's big?
I'll be releasing a video, my top 5 MLB baseball cards to pick up before opening day. Mitch still needs to pick it up. It's in my mailbox. He'll pick it up one day, maybe. That's what I got going on.
Perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be it.
And yes, Les Alex, I definitely agree with that. The legend of Bo Jackson is greater than the player Bo Jackson. Well said.
You could argue the same thing about Babe Ruth, even though his stats in his prime were great. I mean,
he never had Babe Chapman throwing 100 from the left side.
Babe Ruth has a lot of like, dude, I guess he used to swing like a 56-ounce bat. And for those of you that don't know, that's like 20 ounces heavier than like bats that people swing today. So I don't know. Anyways, we'll get going. Nice seeing everybody. Keep stacking, keep collecting. We also have a Facebook group called Red Cape Sports. Join that group. Sell your cards. Make some money. Invest your money. Be part of this community. We want to see you there. You guys can get, I'm not going to tell you can get rich. It's up to you. If you're not in that group, you're not going to get rich. If you join our group, you might get rich, right? It's possible. There you go. At Red Cape Sports, join our Facebook group. It'll change your life. You're going to have so much money from being in that group. You could buy out Mark Zuckerberg, okay?
All right. I'm going to leave it on that. So thanks, guys. Till next time. And Obi Toppin's going to win the dunk contest.
Yeah, Babe Ruth, Bo Jackson, both